Good morning. How are you? I hope you have understood first two pages of the story. Let us continue with the story now. Open your book on page 50. See, what have we done till now? We have read about hobbies and profession of William Morris, and on that particular day we saw that he observed a lady in yellow dress, and she was looking into an undertaker shop, and William Morris was surprised to see why that lady is looking into undertaker shop. Reason being, she was wearing bright clothes. So if somebody has died at her home, she will be in mourning clothes, white, black, gray, not in yellow. Now see, I had finished arranging the jewels in the window and was still keeping one eye on the young woman when a man came into our shop. It was immediately plain to me that he was an American. So here one important question which we can ask you is, what are the clues which helped William Morris to judge that the man who entered their shop is an American? An American is the easiest of all to pick out. First, one of the gum chewing Americans. So first clue was this: he was having a chewing gum. There is his haircut. Then his particular haircut showed that he was an American. His tie in so many bright colors. Third clue is he was wearing a multicolored tie. And then so often you find him chewing that dreadful chewing gum. This point is being repeated. We have got three clues till now. He was a big, strongly built man with a red face that showed he drank more than was good for him. These are some other details of that man. They don't show that they don't contribute to his being an American, but something else about this man. He was a strong built and big man, and red face showed that he was drunken. His suit was a darkish grey, but his tie was a mixture of exceedingly bright colors. I took him to be about 35 years old. So I hope you have got enough material to write. If we ask you, describe the American who entered the Regnier shop, or which points helped William Morris to come to the conclusion that he was an American. See now. Good morning, sir, I said. May I help you? Well, he said, rolling the gum round his mouth and speaking with a strong Yankee accent. Yankee is that American, accent is a style of speaking. I would like to look at some rings. Certainly, sir. Is there any particular kind you have in mind? I guess not. Just show me some. So actually, when we want to buy something, we have some idea in our mind, some idea about the quality, about the range. We should have rather. It is going to help the salesman. But this American has no idea what kind of ring he wanted to buy. So that showed that he may not be a genuine buyer. I opened the safe and took out a tray of rings to show him and to get some idea of what he wanted. So this can also be added in the qualities of William Morris. He is a good salesman. In order to save his own efforts, his own hard work, he wanted to get an idea about the choice of the customer. He picked out 2 or 3 of them and asked the price of them. I noticed that he was left-handed. So this is again because of his observation. He was able to notice that the American was a left-handed person. It was clear that he knew nothing at all about precious stones and the nature of their setting. The price was the measure by which he judged them. William Morris is intelligent. He knew very well what type of customers come to their shop. The customers who usually come to their shop are not so simple, means they know about, they have some knowledge about stones, they have some knowledge about their setting, but this American does not have. There was one most beautiful ring with diamonds and rubies set in the shape of a flower. It was well over 300 years old and had been in the possession of a royal family. Mr. Regnier had set a very high price on it because he did not really wish to sell it. He is describing one ring. So we can also guess that we are also learning actually something from William Morris. We can also guess that in the whole scenario, this ring is going to play an important role. So what do you know about that ring? Diamond and rubies ring. It's in flower shape. They are set in the shape of a flower, 300 years old, and it has some royal connection. Mr. Regnier liked it a lot, and this is the reason that he has set a very high price on it, so that nobody should buy it. Mr. Regnier was like that. There were some of his jewels that he loved as much as he loved his children. So Mr. Regnier does not look at his jewels because of their price only, but because of their beauty. He was emotionally attached with his jewels. The American preferred this flower ring to all the others, but he complained that the price was too high. He asked to see some other rings, and I showed him 3 more trays, but he was still unsatisfied. His eye then fell on a 4th tray, which was still inside the safe, whose door I had left open. So how many trays has William Morris shown to the American till now? 3 trays, and he is going to show 1 more tray. Means in total he will show him 4 trays, and the flower ring was in those first 3 trays only. I guess I had better take a look at those as well, he said. He here refers to the American. American wanted to have a look at the 4th tray also. I turned to take the tray out of the safe and then turned quickly back again to put the tray on the counter. It was then that I saw that the diamond and ruby ring had disappeared. What do you guess? How much time it would have taken for Morris to turn to take the tray and keep it on the counter? Not exactly even 1 minute. It must be a matter of a few seconds only. And in those few seconds, flower ring has gone. I made a sign to Miss Suskind. Miss Suskind is another assistant, and she came and stood beside me. He gave a sign to Miss Suskind. He did not want to raise an alarm immediately. He is disturbed, but he wanted to show that he was calm. But he called his helper, not helper exactly, we can say his friend. I see that. Then I said to the American, I see that you have decided on the flower ring, sir. If you will kindly hand it to me, I will find a suitable box for it. So he says that you must have taken that flower ring. Give it to me so I can pack it in a box. I held out my hand for the ring. I have not decided on anything yet, the American said. I am not the one who is going to decide. I am just picking out 2 or 3 rings for my wife to choose from. She will be coming in later this morning to make her choice. So American refused to have taken the flower ring. Rather, he says that his wife is going to make the final choice. You can understand the tension which was there in the mind of William Morris at this moment, but he will still keep his calm, and this point can be written in his character sketch. But the flower ring, where is it? I asked in dismay, in hopelessness. Then I turned to Miss Suskin. Will you please ask Mr. Regnier to come here? The honor. He wanted honor now because he feels that the things are going out of his hands. I came out from my side of the counter and began searching for the ring. The American joined in the search and so did Mr. Regnier and Miss Susskind. I could see that Mr. Regnier was most upset, but he was doing his best to keep calm. We can understand the reason of being upset on the part of Mr. Regnier. Number one, that was a very, very costly ring. Number two, he was emotionally attached with his jewelry. Then Miss Susskind said, I think that you ought to look in the turn-ups of his trousers. Miss Susskind says his trousers, he should be searched for it. The suggestion was a reasonable one. It is quite easy for something small to drop in the turn-up of a trouser leg, and Miss Susskind, who is a very kind person, meant him no harm, but he turned on her with a very ugly look. Actually, she didn't mean to insult the American. She was just giving a reasonable suggestion that a ring could have fallen in the turn-up of his trousers, so there is no harm if they are checked. But American took it as an insult and he looked at Miss Susskind with an ugly look. His face turned even redder than before and I noticed that he had stopped chewing. So look, it is because of his close observation that he is able to notice that earlier chewing gum was there and now chewing gum was not there in his mouth, and this is going to help him a lot. His jaw moved as if he were a fierce dog ready to bite. He is very angry. It was a dangerous moment and I felt afraid, but Miss Susskind stood there perfectly calm. Then the American bent down and felt round his turn-ups and I helped him too, but there was nothing there. How could the ring be there? Because you know very well where it is. It has been pasted on that chewing gum and chewing gum has been pasted on the counter. The American laughed. I suppose you are thinking that I have stolen it. Actually, he has stolen it, but he is trying to show his anger so that they should not blame him. These 2 pages are enough for today. We will continue tomorrow.